Hello,
Hey.
everybody. It's Thursday, and you know what happens on this station, empoweryourselftv.com. We talk about important issues that affect us in the area of diet, lifestyle, optimal functioning, managing your emotions. I am Sonia,
I'm Joy. Hey, y'all.
and we are so excited today.
We really are.
We have a special guest. In fact, she's a sister of my co
She's
host
my
here,
sissy.
and she has a victory story.
Mm-hmm.
She suffered from scleroderma. Now I'm going to find out what that is. I'm not quite sure what that is. So I figure it's an autoimmune, one of those autoimmune diseases. And she has victoriously reversed all her issues with the protocol that we have been using ourselves: diet, enema, fruits, vegetation. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about her journey, how is it was with her, because she was dealing with a doctor and the hospital and the regular um, avenue of taking care of this health, and what she decided to do. So she's gonna come on in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna talk about our week, ups and downs. I guess we don't want to say it. What was your upside
Well, I
and your
ain't gonna say it,
downside?
man. Challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel horrible, y'all, because I've been eating stuff that I shouldn't. And
After all that fabulous detoxing
no.
and cleansing, it's
And
okay.
I had to be honest. I'm very transparent. Like, yeah,
She didn't go back to meat.
I feel like yuck.
No.
Yeah. No, I'll never do that. But it's just the heavy
Or animal
comfort.
products.
Yeah. And it just I really feel like shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Yeah, I don't feel very good, but at least I have the tools and I'll get back with it on Monday. But I'm going even harder. So, as I normally do. My mom, they're visiting, and my sister, and they're like, oh, you just really just beat yourself up. And I'm like, but when you keep cleansing and your body resets itself, it's like when you go back to that stuff, you just feel horrible. Like I feel like I want to get a Charlie horse. I think that's just the dehydration, like up under the bottom of my feet, and I'm just like, I feel fatigued. I just want to sleep. I'm really tired, and I was supposed to have given them both massages, and I just didn't have the energy to do it. Like I feel like shit, and I'm just being honest with y'all. But I did it to myself. I can't blame nobody but Joy. But I have the tools and I can get back on it. So, right, when Monday, we need an applause. Like when Monday comes, getting right back to it. Because, yeah, I feel like horrible. I feel like somebody hit me in the back of the head.
And guys, it's gonna be like that. It's called transition because we're trying to override all of this. Because a lot of what the impressions that we get to formulate what our likes are and dislikes are come from our senses. The smells, you're gonna find that the sounds when you hear something frying, the memories it evoke inside of you.
And it's the family thing, like right now.
Yeah, because you guys
I'm so
are
used to we're like the movie Soul Food. I was just telling Sonia that is my family. Every Sunday we would come together, sit at my grandmother's big table. We called it the big house. We would sit there and we would have all this food laid out, but it was, good laughter, just the love, just the, that energy, but it's just the food, and it's like every time still when we come together, and it's just, I can't, now that I've taken this cleansing to the next level, just can't handle it. My body, like I'm starting to learn the more, like you said, the more hydration for the foods that we have or that we consume, that's what my body thrives off of. Like I just don't thrive on the heavy. And I'm not telling y'all not to do the grains and the quinoa and the wild rice and stuff. The stuff on the stuff on Dr. Sebi is cool. Like, but for me, where I'm at on this journey, and I don't want to tell nobody, you do what you do for your physiology, but the more fruits that I get, the more hydrated stuff, I'm winning. that's just for me, and I have to, like you said, find balance and a medium, and I have to probably do some more like raw stuff, and I can have some cooked stuff from time to time, but I'm just starting to learn that the fruits work for me. Mm-hmm. Even when I had the blood sugar stuff going, no, it doesn't spike my blood sugar. Like we talking about, both of us could eat a whole watermelon and our blood sugars is fine. That's such a lie. But anyway, sorry, I think I got
No,
off
you're
on,
fine, because the fruit doesn't need breaking down. It goes straight to the bloodstream. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have, unless you're mixing it up with other starches, it doesn't stimulate your insulin to help bring the energy in. It just goes straight to, so that gets rid of the sugar levels. For me, I kind of had a similar situation. Not so bad, because I'm under some subconscious emotional stresses going on. Mm-hmm. And I find, which happens to a lot of women, when we use food to feed those emotional deficits. It's like this insatiable wanting to fill something up because you feel so empty, but it's really not food it's requiring. Mm-hmm. So I was at that place this week. I think I did pretty okay. But to your point about having heavy starches, I can't, I'm figuring that I can't do it. I am just lighter, more in my flow, more energetic, more vibrant when I stick with high nutrient, hydration, nutrient dense stuff. It just works for me. But as soon as I have, and I think we all have to do that, figure out how the science of your own body. Mm-hmm. How are you responding and reacting to certain foods? And if you find that you're sluggish, if it's like you just don't feel right, listen to your body, then that might be something that you gotta lose from your diet. Mm-hmm. And the more you stick with it, your body will alert you, because it's trying to get back to zero. It's trying to get back to where everything is in balance, emotional, mental, psychological. But sometimes it's so hard to do that when you're constantly digesting and assimilating. It just takes a lot more energy to break down that, to assimilate that. And that energy, when you're not, just think about it. You have some fruits and vegetation, which is light. Two tools, there's not much energy that's required for breaking down. So the body is going to use that energy elsewhere, which is why we feel so vibrant and energetic. But when you have all this heavy food, the meat and the starch and the rice and the bread and just the processed, it needs more energy for it to break it down, to digest it, to assimilate it, to dispose of the waste wherever it goes. So no wonder we spend so much time in the bed and wake up tired, because it's just taxing on the body.
So yeah, I could go to sleep right now. It's like,
I'm telling you, you start to get to be so in tune with the messaging of your body that it makes you feel so bad that you just, next time, the memory is creating a new memory, that every time you see that food, it goes back to that feeling. And I'm like, that is just a big, dissuasion. I don't want to go back to that feeling. And that's what I feel now when I'm looking at something, which is why it gets easier as you stay on the journey. What you think you couldn't give up, the body just formulate a new memory that's connecting to one of those senses, and then you remember that feeling and you're like, no. And it's this similar thing with when you're used to, because everything that we do, any get together we have now, any kind of association meeting, it's all centered around food. So the association with food, because it's the warmth, it's the belonging, it's the embrace from other people, and you want that. And then we eat so unconsciously, so mindlessly. And when you start to be more conscious about your eating, you'll make better choices because now you're consciously choosing, which is where I'm at now. I'm like, you know, even okay, she's ready.
Yeah,
Anyway, so let's
let's do.
join Carla and we
We
can
gonna join, get her in
get into
here.
our story. I'm so excited to talk with her. I don't really know a lot of her story. Hi there, hot stuff.
Can you hear us, sis?
I can't hear
Hold on, wait
her.
a minute. It might be me. Hold on. I think I'm supposed to. It was one
It's
more other
mute.
thing that. No, it's one thing I'm supposed to hit. I know. My husband tells me it's here it is. I see it. I got it now. I'm the bomb. Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me now, Carla?
What's the scene?
No.
Oh no, I was supposed to put okay. Can you hear me now?
I've always
Okay.
heard you.
Oh, okay. We couldn't hear you on our end. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, my
Welcome,
love.
Well,
sis.
Happy
hey,
to
sisters,
see
how
you.
y'all
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
doing?
Welcome to Empower Yourself TV. I'm excited to hear
Man,
about your journey and your victory
Yeah,
with
thanks for
sclera.
having me.
you
Appreciate
look
you.
fabulous. Your skin's over glowing.
Well, thank you.
Well, yeah. So I just want to put up real quick her before and after. She's gonna kill me, y'all. But
Oh
I'll
God,
take
what have you
I'll
done?
take the whooping.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness.
So
Woo.
Wow.
this is her before and after. I think you was like in a 14 on that one on the left, right? Did you
Oh
think you got in
yeah.
a 14?
14 going on 16.
How did you feel? Did you
Whew.
feel
I felt
fabulous?
well, the
Did
one
you
on the
feel?
left,
Yeah.
no.
Did you feel great?
No.
So
Very
you
fatigued.
felt like shit.
Oh yes.
Okay. But then on the right, y'all look what she did. She took her power back. So this is exactly what she looked like right now. So I just wanted to give our followers the before and after. And then I guess we can dive in.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yep. I
Yes, ma'am.
wanted to like
Mm.
ask you what exactly scleroderma is. I have no idea other than it's an autoimmune. What are the symptoms you were feeling?
Mhm.
What was the alert that caused you to say, you know what, something is off here? And what
Right.
was the process following that for you?
Scleroderma is of course, it's an autoimmune disease. And first, when I first started out, I noticed my fingers with the Raynaud's. It was always blue, like I wasn't getting enough oxygen to my fingertips. And then I developed little ulcers on the tips of my fingers and very fatigued. I mean, it's like I was almost not being able to breathe, I guess because the fluid was building up into my lungs.
Mhm.
And I was just really short of breath. I mean, I just couldn't function.
Mm-hmm.
Always back and forth into the hospital, with the fluid building up because they put me on steroids. And back home, none of the doctors could detect on what I had. So, I had to go on to Mayo Clinic and get a good diagnosis and got that done. And they started putting me on all this immunosuppressant medicine. I had to take chemo for a
Yeah, I was gonna
while.
say I thought you did
Yeah.
chemo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
to the chemo.
Because they
Yeah,
didn't they put like a thing like in your
a
chest like
port.
didn't you have because I remember
Yeah, I
that.
had a port put in, and also I had to have an open lung biopsy done.
Oh,
And
really?
Mm.
every time they would try to taper me off the steroids, that fluid would build back up into my lungs, and in the hospital I would go, being
So
admitted.
so did they ever mention to you like did they ask about your food like what you were
No,
eating? Never,
no,
not one time.
no, never asked about my food. Mm-mm. No, not at all.
Eh,
And I know on my journey in the beginning, with all the scleroderma, I had been eating a lot of rice,
yeah,
and
we
I
just
was
talked
always a
about that the other
seafood girl.
night. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I loved my seafood, so a lot of salmon. I mean, shrimp. Anytime there was a fish fry, I was always there eating the fish. So yeah, I was a big seafood girl.
Was something like that in your family though? Because you tend when you go to the doctor, they're saying, okay, it's probably in the DNA or whatever. Was that, did you know of anybody in your family that had it or?
Had the scleroderma?
Yeah. Then
Yes.
when you found out.
Oh
So you,
no, 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 no,
Oh, you
no.
didn't know.
mm,
Yeah.
But then later on, I have a cousin that he has the same thing as I do. It's all on my dad's side, which I was kind of wondering about that.
but it's weird though because now Sean, because we're gonna bring him on too, because he healed
Uh-huh.
himself. But his
Right.
mother, he says she
Yeah.
has it, and we're actually
Uh-huh.
kin to Sean's father.
Mm.
So
Right. Yep.
Okay. So maybe
yeah,
Hmm.
something in your chemistry from that
mm,
bloodline
mm,
Hmm.
cannot tolerate certain foods.
yeah. But I'm just saying though, with his mother, like we're not kin to her, we're kin to his
Right.
dad.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
on
I
his
see what
dad.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So
yeah.
when you went to the doctor now, so every time you go back, it's always some medication. And but how were
Yeah.
you feeling? Did you feel better? Did you feel like you
No,
were
I was
okay?
just really fatigued. And like I said, when they put me on
Yeah, you were
steroids, I mean, I
tired.
wasn't feeling good because I
You
was
didn't have
just
no,
tired
yeah.
from the chemo and
You didn't have no energy.
no energy. No, no
Hmm.
Yeah.
energy at
You just
all.
felt really lifeless. I
Yeah,
remember.
and then the steroids, they kept
Hmm.
having me have all that weight on me, and I
Hmm.
just really felt bad, and I knew something had to give.
Yeah. And what was going on in your mind as far as, things happen to you, you're just going through the motion, hoping one day that you'll be healed, or you were thinking about maybe they don't have the answer for me?
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that too. Living in Kentucky, I just the doctors just didn't know what was going on with me, and that bothered me. Then me have to be taking chemo, and of course, I was going through all this, and with my daughter being young at a young age, I just was just worried. If I was to leave here,
Mm-hmm.
this earth, and then she's gonna be without her mom. I thought about all that, and that I just have to be thankful for Joy and my mom that they were there, to help me because
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even comb her hair anymore because of the ulcers on my hands. I had to have my hands in gloves all the time because it was just unbearable to touch anything.
Oh my Lord. So what were the, do you have any relationship with any other doctors or what was that experience with, you were in healthcare at the time, were you?
Yes, I was. I was working in healthcare, and
Right.
my doctor that I worked for, he sent me and my mother to Mayo Clinic, and that's how I got my diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I did that, I there was all kind of scleroderma foundations and doctors that you go to centers, and I picked the one at John Hopkins. So I would go to Baltimore once a year. They draw my blood, check on me, make sure my levels was right, and it was still my ANA was still kind of up some, but going back and forth there, I just said it was something needed to give. And then when Joy started doing her journey, I was just like, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I got in my mind that I'm going to switch over and just wipe this scleroderma away by, start doing the red clay, the enema that we were
Mm-hmm.
doing. And once I started that, I felt better.
Mm-hmm. So
Mhm.
what
I
was the
wasn't.
protocol? Because I know we talked about it some, but what was your daily routine like? Not just physically, but mentally. How were you mentally? Because what Joy told
Yeah,
me.
I was gonna. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go.
I wanted to kind of tap
Okay.
into that because I don't think at the time you realized it, but in your mind, and I think and Jatana, because you had Jatana in your corner
Right.
too,
Oh
and I
yeah,
felt like she
yeah.
gave
Hmm.
you free will. She told you like medically,
Who is
like
Jatana?
Jatana was one of her doctors that helped
Okay.
her through this whole ordeal, and then they have a relationship too because they actually worked in the hospital together too as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
But she pretty much gave you free will to decide. She would tell you the medical side, but then she's
Right.
like, "But Carla, what do you want to do?" So I
Hmm.
commend Jatana because I don't find too many doctors that do that.
Mm-hmm.
They let
Right.
Carla decide. But
Hmm.
Carla didn't realize it, but me on the outside looking in as a sister, Carla had already made up her mind before she even met Adama that she was getting rid of this shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
Oh
she told the universe, this shit is gone. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't taking this on no more. Like she never
Right.
let
She
scleroderma
wasn't a
own her,
victim.
and she wasn't going out. I got scleroderma. I got to get rid of. Like you would never know if you just didn't see her, because she definitely, her appearance changed. But if
Mm-hmm.
on the outside, like if you was just looking on the inside, you would have never known she was sick because she didn't carry it at
Mm-hmm.
all. And I just feel like early on, before Adama and all that, like you was just determined that you was gonna heal yourself. You might not have said it like, I'm gonna heal myself, but I don't know. It's
Right.
just something I could
Our
just tell.
energy.
Yeah, you was just like, I'm not being sick for the rest of my life. And then maybe, Eric was a little bit of fuel for it because you had a child,
Right.
so you was just like, her mother needs to be around or whatever. But yeah,
Mhm.
but mentally, you was on it. Like you manifested that to happen, and then it just even got better once I introduced her to Adama's protocol.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was the Dama's protocol? Because remember,
I
what
did
were you doing?
I was doing the red clay enema, and I did it for the 90 days, like I was
Every
told
See,
to
I
day?
do
couldn't
that.
remember if you
Yes,
did it 90 or if you did it
yes,
for
and
the
a little
full
bit
month.
more. I did a
See,
little bit,
I was
over.
gonna say, I think you went
Yeah.
maybe 4 or 5 months. You might have went
Uh-huh.
longer than that.
Doing it every day. That was
Mhm.
my
And then
protocol.
and then I wanted you to tap into,
What time were you doing it? Because I hear
yeah,
you had a
because you
schedule.
had 2 jobs.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, getting up early in the mornings.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to get up real early. And
And
get
what
that done
time was
before I
that?
went
Like
out.
3 or 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, because I work in the school system and I had to be at work like at 7. So yeah, I had to get up very early and prepare myself to get my enema done in order to get on work on time. So yeah.
And I just want people to hear that, because
Oh yeah.
a lot of the people that, that's trying to transition, that's the first thing they tell us is
We got
like,
time.
we don't have time. So I was like, I got to
Oh
bring my
yeah.
sister on. I was like, she was just determined, like, this is the only time
Mhm.
so I got to do this. Like, I
Yep.
have to get up in the morning, even if it means for me to be tired. But did you realize too, the more that you did it, that you was getting like more energy though? Because I
Oh
remember me and you talked
yes.
about that
Oh
too.
yeah, because I would tell Joey, when I was at school before I started, I was like, oh, something's got to give. I said, I'm just tired. My stomach's always bloated up. I don't have the energy. And once I got more and more into doing the enema every day, oh my gosh. I mean, I had energy.
Mhm. And
I
how was the
know it felt
diet?
good.
Yeah.
Well, how was the diet? What did you get? I mean, what was it? Just fruits and vegetable?
Fruits and vegetables, doing your smoothie bowls, eating veggies,
Mm.
for
You
your
did a
dinner.
lot of salad too,
And
didn't
a
you?
lot of, oh yeah, I did a lot of salads. My salads for
Because remember,
lunch.
we was like, "Whoo, we done burnt ourselves out with this salad."
Uh-huh. Yes, I did a lot of salads. Oh yeah, for my lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
must have been very encouraging once you're on that. That you know what? So did you take? Were you still taking the medication and the steroids and stuff? When did you stop?
No, they finally got me off the steroids where it wasn't putting any more fluid back into my lungs. I finally got over that. And then it made me have a lot of high blood pressure too. So I weaned myself off my high blood pressure medicine. I just
Did y'all
did
hear that,
it.
y'all? Oh my God, we got to get a clap hands up on.
Yeah.
Woo! Goodbye, high blood pressure.
Yeah,
That's
I had that.
awesome, Carla.
So I weaned myself off the high blood pressure medication, and I mean, I felt good. Didn't have no
Mhm.
setbacks or anything.
What did your
Mm-hmm.
doctor say when you went back? Did they like say, okay, what are you doing? What have you been doing? This is a what miracle, or did they just think it was the steroids?
No, they asked me, what was I doing, and I had told them, I had become a vegan, and I was doing the red clay enema, and they was just blown away. They just couldn't believe, how I was looking and how all my blood work and all that was, had turned around and didn't have any kind of setbacks or anything. So now he applauded me.
And then talk a little bit too about how when you had the scleroderma, how your skin has changed.
Oh
I
yes,
mean, like,
yeah, yeah. My skin almost looked like it was burnt. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
real thick
and she
skin.
didn't even have
Arms.
like the full. Remember, you didn't have
Yeah,
the
I
full, because
couldn't
I
move.
would massage you.
Everything.
You didn't even have the full range of motion because it was
No.
like leather.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it felt like leather. My
And
skin was
now
very
y'all look at
tight.
her skin. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful. And I'm not just saying
especially
it
in my
because she's my
arms.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned my skin. It almost it looked like I was burnt. That's what it looked like, my skin
Mhm.
from the scleroderma.
What's
Mm.
the prognosis usually of scleroderma? If you had not done that, what would be the progression of autoimmune situation like that? Do you know of
Pretty much,
anybody?
they just have you continue to be taking that amino all those amino drugs that they have out there for it.
And
Did they tell you could die?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was researching it too, and it has it out there. Yeah.
That it could be death.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
after it
Mm.
kill all the organs eventually.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everything just starts shutting down.
Shutting down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Mm.
that
And there's
pain.
different forms of it. I have the diffuse, and it's
Yeah.
mainly for my skin. That's the kind I have. There's sclerosis, scleroderma, and diffuse, and that's the one that I have is diffuse because it involved my skin and my lungs. So that's the form that I have.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. So
Mm.
now you can testify to diet and
Mm.
cleansing
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
from personal experience, so that really is a life changer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. It
And
is a change.
mental.
And yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
mental.
cause she was determined like this shit ain't gonna kick my ass.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
You told
No.
you told it goodbye early. I seen it in your eyes. Like you was ready.
But did it ever, like your transition and your, empowering yourself, taking your power back,
Mm.
returning to the wellness that you knew before, did it create any impact on people around you, like friends, family, towards wanting to do that? Or people just, because I find that people say, oh, that's not me, that's you. So even when you have the testimony, you have the fruit on the tree, that's still not,
Yeah, they still not getting it.
it
No,
doesn't,
I've got one
Mm.
friend that she's just not getting it.
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
No,
And I
no. Mm.
wanted to
They
say
not
that
tapped
because for
in.
people who are transitioning,
Mm.
it's gonna happen that you know other people it's you, but I don't think they believe that it's something that can happen to them as well. We
Mm.
all have the opportunity to heal our bodies because of the body's intelligence if we give it the
Mhm.
right fuel. And the
Mhm.
cleansing is not just the fuel. A lot of
Mm.
vegans, Carla, they do
Mhm.
the food, the food, the food, but it's
Mhm.
Right.
imperative to
Mm. The
do the
GI.
cleansing, to clean that
Mhm.
out.
Genetic
Oh
GI tract out.
yeah. Oh yeah. And you feel so much better when you do it. Oh
Of
my gosh.
course, of
Mm.
course.
Oh,
Like I
phew.
was saying to Joy today, is like when I fall off track, I mean,
Mhm.
I just know tomorrow morning I'll be enema out the place tomorrow morning
Right.
because I wanna get this crap out. I don't wanna keep
Mhm.
it
Yep.
inside, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that's the same way you feel too. Is like your go-to is just get me an enema.
Oh yeah. Yep. You can
Yeah,
tell the difference. You can tell the difference, and you want it out.
you want it out. Because I think
Oh
that's the key too. Even if you do a lot of this crap,
Mhm.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I think the really dis-ease has to do with what's going on in the gut.
Right.
Because we're keeping all that stuff too long inside. And
Mhm.
that is what's creating these issues. But I'm just so happy that you have. So, I mean, it gives you such. I would imagine that it empowers you so much to know that, you know what, there anything at all that comes up on you, you have the tools,
Right.
and
Mhm.
you'll never be a victim again.
No.
That
Mhm.
kind of personal story, it's gotta give you confidence
Mhm.
in belief in self, but belief in, what, it doesn't have to be mainstream medicine, because
Right.
what you did was medicine. It's just a alternative type of
Mhm.
medicine. So is there anything else that, during your experience, that you want to make mention of that could help the listeners, as far as I know, mindset? I mean, I'm very into that. Like, what is that? Did you get up? Were you like, did you have these thoughts of, am I going to make it? Or you just felt in your mind that there is there's no question about making it?
No, I mean, I knew, like Joy said, I knew I'd already had in my brain that, I knew I had to do something because I couldn't go on any longer feeling like this the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to make a change to do something better for me because of course, I was thinking of my daughter. She needs her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do it. And then I'm hoping that, anybody out here that's listening to my testimony, that they will be able to, that they can do it also.
That's
Because it can,
exactly.
it can be done. I'm a witness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be done. And
And
they
you
just
look
got to get
very
it.
young, if you don't mind. What
Yeah,
age
what's
are you?
yeah,
Where,
what
I
how old
mean,
are
when
you?
did I guess how
What,
long was the
Yeah.
whole process? A
Yeah,
year?
like how were
uh,
you when you first got diagnosed? Because we was talking about that earlier. Did we just
I
was you
think
38?
I think so. I know I was thinking I
30s?
know it was the end of October of 2001, I believe. I think that's when it was.
Because
Yeah, it
Ari
was
was
in her
about
30s.
four or five.
Alive, yeah. Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
she was
little.
young.
Uh-huh.
That was
Yeah.
young, in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the whole process leading up to the clay protocol, how long was that journey, that
You
time?
started that in 2018, right?
18, yes. Uh-huh.
17 years of
Yeah.
Yeah.
suffering from that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it got progressively worse.
It's like, yeah, when I stayed on those immunosuppressant medicine, yeah. Yeah, I could just see I wasn't gonna be able to get out of that if I didn't have to do something. I
And,
had to
and
do
that's what
something.
I'm saying. 17 years of listening to the experts that was
Right.
saying, okay, let's rule this out and rule this out. And not they're giving you is more medication, but your situation was not getting any better.
No.
And you was still eating. Was you still eating the rice?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
You,
When
I'm
I
talking
did
about
kind
when
of
you. I'm talking about when they had you like say like after the chemo and the steroids and all that stuff. Like, was you still continue to eat that the sad the standard American diet? Was you still eating like the rice
yeah.
and stuff? Because you
Oh,
said they
yeah.
never brought up nothing about your
Mm-mm.
food
Nothing with
thing.
food.
Yeah,
No.
she was still
And
eating
that's
it,
what I'm
Still eating my
saying.
seafood.
and she still wasn't really feeling better.
That's what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying. The
No.
very
Yeah.
thing, which is why we saw this, I think we have to make a connection. She has been doing something that lead to this. And yet that has not changed. No suggestion about changing what you're doing here. They
Mm-hmm.
just add medication to it. So
Mm-hmm.
you keep
So they
ingesting the
made
thing that
stuff work.
caused it.
Yeah,
So it's just gonna make
make
stuff
stuff
worse. So
worse.
how can you ever
Mm-hmm.
heal? Which is what I'm trying to get people to think about. You gotta be actively participating in your health. You gotta be your own advocate. Not to say that mainstream, the experts don't have a place, but at some point, you were the one that said, listen, something does not make sense here. And you could have just continued, but you
Mm-hmm.
said no. You started to kind of listen to your head and say, no, let me try. And you were open. I find
Super. Yeah, she was
a lot
super
of people not
open.
open
Mm-hmm.
to alternatives
Right.
because they'll say to me, oh, I know somebody who knows somebody who never got better. And I'm like, okay, were they cleansing?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
always no cleansing.
Mm-mm.
Right.
They're
None.
doing the diet, they're taking vegan stuff, vegan meal, more natural medication. But what that
Mm-hmm.
is doing, that's just taxing the
Mm.
all of the filtration system, the kidney, the
It's just
intestines,
circling.
it's just
Right.
circling. So you're
Mm-hmm.
adding more poisons to the already existing poisons. So the body will never get a chance to
Mm-hmm.
heal.
Right.
So that
Yep.
is why it's so important, guys, to clean the gut out.
Mm-hmm.
The enema, we're
Yep.
going to beat that drum more than
Mm-hmm.
anything else. Because here, Carla is saying that this is her experience. I doubt if you weren't doing the enema that you would have recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And it
No.
took you how long? How long was that for you to? You took 17 years of steroids and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then it took you what, a year for you to
It was probably
recover?
less than that. When did you start seeing when you started Adama's protocol? When did you start
Oh,
seeing
I
did you
start
see it
seeing
that
it
first
with him.
week?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Pants getting loose, had to buy all new clothes and everything. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All get full of energy. Oh
When
yeah.
did you see your skin and stuff start changing? Which your skin had changed already, but I feel like the clay and the fruits and vegetables took it to the next level. So when did you
Level,
start
yeah.
seeing that? Like once you started Adama's protocol,
I guess in the next
because your
couple of weeks.
skin's glowing,
Yes, my skin started, getting real. I don't
loose.
know. It wasn't
Wasn't
real
like
tight.
look, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was looser. It wasn't as tight as it was. I was able to move my arms the correct way, and
Mm.
oh yeah, had a lot of energy. I just felt good.
And you've always been a person that's high, like high energy, but it just
Oh
like
yeah,
it just
oh
threw it
hyper.
into
Oh
overdrive. I was just
yeah,
like, we call her Dora the Explorer. She just be getting it.
yeah.
She gotta hit everything and it just be
Yep.
moving. Cause I don't even think you even sleep that much really either. Cause I
I
think, cause
didn't.
yeah, you have to
No.
be up early in the morning. So yeah, I don't, and you
Mhm.
still feel rested though, right?
Yes,
Pretty
I did.
much.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
pretty much.
So
Yep.
yeah.
So you reverse 17 years of suffering
Mhm.
in a couple of months
Mhm.
with just
Right.
cleansing
Yeah.
and
We're
vegetating.
cleansing. And eat my
I don't
fruits and
know for
veggies
anybody
and
else who's struggling with any type of issues that
uh,
after you hear your testimony that you'd want to still go back to taxing your body with all of this
Mhm.
poison because it's actually poison
Mhm.
yeah.
that you're taking in.
Mhm.
Poison means that if you're taking in something that the body does not know what to do with, it is baggage, it's garbage.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And not to put your business out there, but like I go hard because I still have obviously little waste left on me, and we came from the same womb, so it's funny. Like she can eat some stuff that I just can't do, like
Mhm.
which I'm not saying that's right or wrong or whatever. But darn, my point was I was trying to think what I was trying to make.
Same mother,
Yeah, yeah,
DNA.
yeah, yeah. But I
Because
was
her
trying to.
body respond differently.
Yeah, cause like
Hmm.
it's, but like I can't. Some of the stuff that she eats, and I'm not saying that's wrong or right, but I couldn't do it.
Hmm.
But yeah, and she and Carla, I'm consistent. Not to say that she's not consistent, but even after she went so hard with it, she would still drink the tea and the clay, but not like how
Hmm.
I was doing it
Right.
like every day, like I was on it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that even though she helped to start the healing process, she still created a schedule that worked for her. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like me, like I'm doing every day or whatever, but she still healed herself is basically was is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. But now you don't do it the enema as often, right? Because now you're feeling it better. How often are you doing the enema?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Like
usually try
three,
to get
four.
them in at least 3 days a
Mm-hmm.
week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's gonna happen. I think when you
Mm-hmm.
start to eat more nutrient dense, more high water content, and your body is eliminating and you get your body into balance, then it's
Mm-hmm.
probably not as crucial. Because I did the same thing, and Joy still do 5 days, 6 days, whatever. For me, if I say I'm eating something that I know what that feeling is, tomorrow morning I'm in that bathroom with that enema,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you
okay.
know, because
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
refuse to hold any kind of waste.
You want that shit
And
out?
I'm not 100% there because
Hmm.
50 something years of waste collecting in my, it's now at a cellular level. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to
Right.
keep with some regularity. But when you do eat something, it's like, I don't want to keep that crap inside, man. I'm like, out,
Hmm.
out, 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 because I'm not a cesspool. I'm not a cemetery. My stomach isn't, nor am I a garbage can. So
Hmm.
once I'm helping the body to do what it does, then you have to have the energy,
Right. Hmm.
you
That's
know?
true.
So
Hmm.
I don't want to keep you long, but do you have anything else you want to share? And then,
I was gonna say too, she drinks a lot of water.
oh,
Yeah.
it does.
She
Wow.
Yeah.
got me
That's why
way,
our skin looks so
yeah.
Right.
bright.
She got
Yeah.
me beat on that because I
Yeah.
suffer in that area.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, she drinks a
I've,
lot of
yeah.
water.
I've always been
She
the
carries
one.
her water with her.
Yeah. I have my
Every
water
time we
bottle
go
with
in the
me.
store, she got her little water jug. Yeah, she does real
Yeah.
good. Like
And that
that's.
facilitates
Mhm,
your health and your
mhm,
healing and your
Hmm.
cleansing because you're
mhm,
Right.
hydrating. A
mhm,
lot of us, when we eat, and I'd said it before, when you look at the food you're eating, and it's void of hydration, you gotta make it up with drinking extra water.
Right.
When you're doing a lot of fruit,
Mm-hmm.
then you're bringing in water, so it's probably not as crucial. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're having dried food for breakfast, dried food for lunch, dried food for dinner, dried food in between, and there's no water,
Mm-hmm.
you just sabot that poor body.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it's gonna say, "Listen, time out." You
Mm-hmm.
cannot keep doing that without the body slap you upside the head,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because you're not giving it, you're not facilitating its healing. So it's like a car. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
car need a tune up and it needs some
Right.
gas. You go and push it and see if it don't leave you by the side of the road. The body is the same thing. It's going to leave you by the side of the road. Enough is enough after a while. So I'm just so grateful for, being a student of your body and the temple, to be able to overcome, what has been hanging in the balance for 7 years, and now just to be obedient to the
Mm-hmm.
body
Mm-hmm.
and say, listen, I'm just gonna try something else. Did you ever hear of enema before Joy spoke to you? Was that something that you knew anything about?
No, no, I know nothing about the red clay animal. No, doing the animal.
When
No.
she told you that she was doing enema, what was that like? Oh, I'm not going to push anything upside my butt. That's what I hear all the time. Oh, I'm not
No,
going to.
I never really said that. I was just like, I know I've got to get on that bandwagon with my sister because I'm like, something's got to give. I
But
mean,
she was also changing too.
yes.
Did that?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, was that some type of influence? Because we really didn't talk about it. But
Oh,
could you
yes.
see like the changes in me?
Oh,
Because
yeah. I could see
I
the
was
change.
220 pounds. So
Yeah, I could see the changes in my sister. And I'm just like,
mm-hmm.
she's looking good, feeling good. And I said, I've got to do this. I've
Right.
got to do it. Get my body back to the way what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yep.
my love, you have anything else you
I
want to say?
don't have anything. I just want people just to know that it's possible, and not follow the Joneses.
Hmm.
Follow what we were oriented to believe, that there is one size fit all, there's only this modality. It's like this life, there's just so many different resources for everybody. But the kicker is that we gotta be able to want to advocate for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
advocate for our health, because that's the only thing you really have control over. So I'm just so happy for your successes, and the best of, just more and more successes as you dig deeper into wanting to be an advocate for yourself, but also a model for your daughter and the
Mm-hmm.
people around you. And also, I believe that little did you know that when you were on your journey, that you'd be here on this thing, using your testimony that's going to impact people who are probably at a place thinking, oh my God, I don't want to feel this way no more.
Right.
So just thank you for your due diligence to self, to the wealth of self, and also for continuing doing your enema,
Mm-hmm.
continuing,
I'm staying on the path.
staying on the
Hmm.
path.
Yep.
Do I ever get on your nerves? Because I be hardcore. They say I have my little grenades in my pocket. So do you ever feel like I be pressuring you to? Because you've always been very independent and do your own thing. But did you
No,
think the
I
whole
mean, because
time like
I know.
I was like drumming it, like you gotta do this and you gotta cleanse, but I just felt like you was ready. You like we was ready. I feel like she was
Mhm.
just ready. Like she was just like, I don't care what it is. Let's do something different outside of the medical, the Western medicine. Let's go over to the Eastern medicine. But I just wanted to ask that because some of our family members, I can tell they don't want to deal with me because I'm next level now. But I just wanted to
Right.
know if I ever like get on your nerves because I'll be like so like. Ugh. I
No,
just
I
and
mean, 'cause I know that's you. That's
Mhm.
your personality. No,
And she
no.
genuinely
I
care.
do.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh yeah, I know
love.
that.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
super just love.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I've
Oh yeah.
lost people, some of my family, because where we come from, because we can read the face now. So we see
Mm-hmm.
more of the sickness because we're so
Oh,
connected.
yeah.
And it just bothers me
Mm-hmm.
because it's like so many family members. I be wanting to tell them, y'all, we really do have our PhD. Like, I see the sickness, y'all sick, And
Mm-hmm.
not to
Yep.
put ourselves up there like because we're in the midst
Right.
of it. We're trying to heal. We're not trying to like
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're better than nobody, but
Right.
we just have this information that we know it could save your life. And
Mm-hmm.
like all
Yep.
this cancer and the scleroderma, the type 2 diabetes and all of the stroke, the heart attack, it's really not that serious. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it is, but it's not.
Yeah. There
And,
are
and and it
tools.
bothers me to see people leave here. Not that I'm trying to play God or Jehovah, whatever you want, of the universe, or whatever you call whatever that is. But it's just it just saddens me that this doesn't have to be the case.
Right.
Just even your whole 17-year journey, like, I wish I knew what I knew now, but
Oh, yeah.
everything happens, I guess, in its own time. But I wish I could
Mm-hmm.
have got to you earlier because I mean I was like, I went to a couple of your, those scleroderma groups that, to support you and just
Right.
seeing the pain you was in, like you didn't even have to go there and they not one damn time said nothing about you eating the food and the rice and
Mm-hmm.
not even mentioned it.
No.
And then we
No.
just went with it because that's what we was raised on,
Right.
thinking,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, if we do give them the medicine, over time she'll get better. And you just sat there and said that, you still really didn't feel yourself. Although I think
Mm-hmm.
if your mental wasn't there, you really probably would have felt even worse. But
Mm-hmm.
because I think your
Mm-hmm.
mental, you was like, I'm gonna figure this shit out. I don't care how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not dying.
Mm-hmm.
She told herself she wasn't dying.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
got the answer. So it's amazing.
And I also want to say that sometimes you're on the journey and you really think it's about you. Because I think even with Joy, had she not taken on being her own advocate, then you wouldn't have benefited from your
Right.
healing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that to say a lot of the times you think it's about you and you're in the space. So no, I think you are like standing or holding space for other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your daughter, maybe your friends or whatever. And that's such a big responsibility. Like I know I'm holding space for people in my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have the luxury of doing another thing or deviating from this because I know, no, they don't see it because they have scales over their eyes, but I can't give up on that because I know that somewhere along the line that my doing due diligence to self is going to give them the liberation and the freedom that they think they want or they think that, the experts have. But I'm saying that to say that a lot of the times when we're doing stuff, we gotta know that we're not doing it for ourselves.
Right.
Right.
We're
Mm-hmm.
doing it for the other ones, these ones coming behind you. So I want to say
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for just
Mm-hmm.
being here and continue holding space for people in your
Mm-hmm.
family and doing your due diligence to self because you'll never have anything greater
Then yourself.
than the wealth of self. That's
That's
where,
correct.
because when you don't feel well, nothing else works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's true. That
Nothing
is.
else is important. You just want to feel well, but we don't think
Mm-hmm.
that we're on this trajectory and we don't feel that that will ever happen to me. And
Right.
you're a testament. That is the food. You get off, the food caused it. You change the
Mm-hmm.
food and then it cure. Come on,
Crazy.
man.
Right. And sis, tell everybody how old you are or how young you are, because you look like you about 16 right
But
now.
thank you, love. 56.
She is 56. Like, y'all, come on.
Yeah.
Oh
I want to say you look
my God.
fabulous.
You
You
really
really look
do.
fabulous. And I'm so proud
Thank
of
you.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Me
Proud of your
too. And
journey.
thanks for supporting us and coming on and, giving your testimony because, I at the time when all that was going on, I remember as clear as day. I mean, I really thought you was about ready to die. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's the
Yeah.
God's honest truth. I was scared because we
Mm-hmm.
didn't, have the information, but so That's just amazing. You have an amazing testimony. Hopefully somebody hears. And how can they get in contact with you? And also she sells doTERRA oils too. So how can
Yes.
they, and we was talking about
And
that
you
earlier.
use a
Yeah.
lot of that
She
Yeah.
for
does
healing,
for healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I
resource.
do.
Yeah.
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 So how can they get in touch with you, Carla, if they want if
My
they want to
email is C is in Charlie, E is in Edward, D is in Bob, 924@gmail.com.
Okay. And we'll put it in the, below too if anybody wants to contact her if they want to. She has oils and they're ingested. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you can ingest them inside. They're not just for, outside.
Topical.
Topical.
Being
So
diffused.
yeah, and they help because I was
They
going through.
do.
I had what's name. I had some chai tea, and I don't do caffeinated tea no more. I just do herbal tea, and girl, I got the shaking, and I felt just anxious. And she gave me some stuff to rub on the bottom of my feet with the coconut,
Mhm.
fractionated coconut oil, and it just
Uh-huh.
took it right away. And then even
Yeah.
remember I told you I had a headache last week too, and I used your oil. I used the peppermint, put it on the
Mhm.
occipital, and then on my
Right.
temples. And
Temples.
honey,
Mm-hmm.
it took it. Them essential oils, and I think probably the more you clear yourself out,
Easier.
the
Mm-hmm.
easier it really is. So they
Right.
definitely work. So if y'all interested in some, oils, because you can put them in your water too. Because I
Yeah.
have the lemon, the lime, and then the next one I'm gonna order is the grapefruit. So if y'all are
Mm-hmm.
into oils, this is the person to,
Yep.
put in an
I put it in
order.
my
So
water.
yeah.
The lemon oil in my water.
Yeah. So yeah, she's really
Mhm.
into her oil. She has everything. She's the stuff for the chest and I mean, to open up like if you're mucusy and it's stopped up.
Right.
She has all that stuff. So yeah, she's the
Mhm.
person to go to. So but I don't have anything else to say. Carl, is there anything you want to let anybody, our followers, the people that are transitioning, that you feel like that they need to know, but to help them get through it easier, before we close? Ain't Wanda.
No, not really. I just want to say I know this is my testimony, and if I can do it, I know everybody else can. And if there's anything that I can do to help anybody, just let me know because it can be done, and you'll feel so much better once you start doing those the enemas and switching it up. That food is something, I'm telling you.
And I had no idea that until you told me just recently. You was like, Joy, I just believe it's the rice.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I was eating it. Yeah, love the rice. Oh yeah, love the rice and my seafood. Like I said, I'm all
Yeah,
seafood.
yeah. And it's funny that you put that connection together because
Yeah.
I knew you did the seafood, but that just threw me off with
Uh-huh.
the rice. So yeah, it's
I
amazing.
Yeah.
think I think that's seafood too because I had a friend. She was an avid seafood person, man. She loved
Mm-hmm.
that seafood, and she did develop cancer and eventually passed on. But
Mm-hmm.
never stopped eating that seafood.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well, I think they think because Jesus fed the whole
with fish.
disciples. Yeah.
No, she was more like the lobster and the shrimp and the crab.
Mm-hmm.
The
The roaches.
scavengers, yeah, the scavengers,
Yeah.
Just
because
eat a
they have
cockroach.
high mercury and high
Yeah.
arsenic.
Mm-hmm.
But we just have
Yeah.
to be very be a steward of our own bodies and learn to be take our cues from the body.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my love.
Shonda God said he's gonna have to hit you up for some oils.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it on, cuz. I'm here
And
for you.
also too, Michelle Clay's on here too. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us. And then Aunt Wanda's on here too. Hey, Auntie
Okay.
Wanda.
Hey, Auntie.
Thank y'all for supporting us. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, people. Okay, Miss Carla, thank you so much.
We're gonna show her pictures just
Before
before and
and
after again, just so people can see the difference, like where she started. So
she's a beautiful smile.
yeah, gorgeous. Yeah. So, but we appreciate you, sis, and we're gonna get off of here now and
Till next
till
time.
next
And I know
time.
you have been a day one supporter of our little YouTube
Yes.
live, and we
You
appreciate
have
you.
appreciate that too.
Thank you so
That
I
much.
that
Who
appreciate
knew?
you
that
Who
too.
means a
knew that
lot.
you'd be a guest of ours? I never knew your
Yes.
story. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, y'all, till next time.
And Sean said we gotta let the rice go.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right,
Love and
everybody. Thank
blessings.
y'all for the support. Love y'all.
See
Love you,
ya.
sis. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Let's see.